Riders ready, watch the gate.
Get into Pete now, so you're live.
Welcome to stop number 4 of the UCI BMX Supercross World Cup Tour. We are here in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Last year's finale on the Supercross Tour, this year, second to last stop, and you can see the weather is completely different. Sun is out, the track is dry, and we're excited to see the weekend unfold before we head into the finals next week in Sarasota, Florida. First time for us to head down there with the UCI BMX Supercross World Cup Tour, but should be some interesting race action. So as of right now, riders are on the track, Group A. These are the best of the best. The top 80 riders in the world are out on the track getting ready for this weekend's Supercross. And we'll just wait to see who we could get coming in. But as you know, we've had quite of a break. But what a break it was. We went down to the World Championships in Colombia. Great run there for Mariana Pajón, of course, at the Mariana Pajón BMX track. Then on the men's side, it was Joris Daudet from France taking the decisive win in the elite men's class. Heading over to the Olympic Games, I know you watched it. It was exciting. Again, Mariana Pajón took the victory there. And the men's class, it was a great run there for United States of America's Connor Fields. He was the guy to beat as he went around and took that top spot. But now we're back on the Supercross. Things are pretty tight in the elite men's side of things. Corbin Charaw, he currently leads points heading into these last two events. Right behind him, Carlos Ramirez, They're going to have a good battle between those two guys this weekend, and that's going to set up who can go for the overall title in the elite men's class. In the elite women's class, it's going to be between Laura Smulders and Brooke Crane. They're the two closest in points right now that are here for this race. So it'll be interesting to see when they get out there on track to see how things work out. So as we said, a few riders out here on the track already. Beautiful day in Rock Hill. But again, great track. Most of the riders think the technical aspect of this track isn't the highest, but that means we'll see some fast racing, high speeds, a lot of jumping, of course, and with these big, huge banked turns, we will see some great moves being able to be made in each and every one of the laps when we get to racing tomorrow. So we'll start things out with those qualification races, then move over to the top riders as they go for those super final time trials. And then on Saturday night, it'll be those final races of riders making their way into that main event. We will see who can take the top spot here for stop number 4 on the World Cup Tour. So we really can't give you a great overview of the track. We can give you some great music. Maybe we can give you some great music. Probably not. It's the same old DJ. His music's outdated, so we maybe just pan across the track real quick for you until you get the lens right in the sun, but give you a view of this beautifully maintained track here in Rock Hill. So you can see picturesque night here. And of course, there's 3 people here, so we're going to have the music as humanly loud as possible for tonight's webcast. So we have a few riders on the track now. We'll see if we can get... So I'm sure that blistering sun in your eyes, is it blistering sun? How's it look? Looks good? You want to be out here? You want to be atop that 8-meter ramp here in Rock Hill, and we will see 110 the world's best riders out on that track this weekend, all bidding for that overall championship, World Cup champion in 2016. What a race it will be. As I said, riders out on the track. Finest from Thailand making his way out here to the Rock Hill. Back-to-back Supercross events. Interesting to see the first time back-to-back next week, we head down to Sarasota, Florida. New facility down there, an incredible track, one of the oldest standing BMX tracks in the United States of America, host to many fine nationals over the years. And even myself, back in the day, raced in Sarasota. What a great facility. So I'll be excited to go down there to see the Millers and all those who made that event happen in Sarasota, Florida. So you'll get to see some great racing there as the riders battling out for those points. It'll be pretty good. Or not. So the weather for this weekend, as we said, it's expected to be in the mid-70s to 80s, low humidity, perfect racing conditions. Or not. Depends how you look at it. You never know. So we're gonna try our best to get some of these riders over here. Maybe to get you some information on what is going on the Supercross Tour. You can see Corbin Sherrod, Jeff Upshaw rolling their way. Corbin Sherrod is currently the leader in the overall on the men's side of things for points. First time he's ever held a lead in any division for an overall title in that elite class. So we had a chance to sit down and chat with him earlier. But he's just looking to take this race one moto at a time on the track and see how things work out for him. So we'll definitely get Corbin to stop because I need a break. So Corbin, we just saw you doing a hot lap around this track. No, we just let the fans know how the weekend's already opened up, practice is going on, and you're up here. You're gonna do your best. So just talk about this track here in Rock Hill a little bit.
Yeah, it's good. It's more of it's a wide open track. It's not really like Manchester where you kind of a little bit of slow down to go fast. You can just give it what you got from the gate and pretty much give it all you got. There's nothing crazy, no lips or bucky or none of the jumps or kicky and anything you got to worry about. So you can really just charge the track as fast as you can and just be aggressive.
So we talked about it a little bit earlier today, but it's going to be a night race, so that's a rarity for you guys. Tell us about your feelings on that type of situation here for stop number 4 of the World Cup.
I think it'll be great. I think I spoke on it a little earlier. It's like the lights here, they're unbelievable the way it lights this place up. Like it's almost brighter here at night. You can see the track better at night with all the lights on during the day. So not really too worried about that. The lights are going to be great. The track's going to be lit up. There won't be any shadows, and I think it'll be a great race.
So for you come in with that points lead. What's that like coming into a race? Just 2 events left with an overall lead in an elite men's series.
It's definitely a great feeling. It solidifies that really it's been a really consistent and solid year for me, and just looking forward to these 2 events. Really, just been training hard and kept things on the ball after the games. Didn't take too much of a break and stayed on the bike and stayed comfortable. So I'm really looking forward to these last 2 races and see if we can stay on top.
You've never been one to go out and yell about your results or things you do, but incredible race to start the season, going out with a win, starting out with a win. What's it going to take for you to win here this weekend? As we just started, but what's it going to take for you to go back and get another win on the Supercross Tour?
It's going to take a solid mindset. I mean, a lot of these guys, like they said, they've kind of taken a little bit of a break, kind of had a little bit of an Olympic hangover, and everybody's kind of just been hanging out and not riding much, and everybody just seems to be out here riding for fun. And for me, there's definitely a title on the line. It's like there's definitely a title out there and something to go get. So I'll look forward to that, but I definitely think it's going to take a guy with a solid mindset and somebody that's really hungry to race and really hungry to win. And whoever's the most aggressive out there and gives it their all and wants that win is going to win.
One thing we always get, the fans, they want to see what your bike is, if your bike's any different here on the Supercross Tour, but give us a quick little, we'll get a quick little rundown of your BMX bike.
No, yeah, it's the same as what I would race if you seen me out at the local track in Tucson, Arizona. I mean, it's a Daylight double XL, just regular gear. I run a 50-18, I don't change it between tracks. I would run this if I was in a little indoor in Las Vegas or if I was out here on this big track. So same tires, same rims, same setup I would run anyway.
All right, well, we're excited to watch your race this weekend, and good luck.
Thank you.
All right, so Corbin Sherrod going to make his way out on the track this weekend for that overall title. So, as we said, riders are out there, and we're lucky enough to get another guy. You may have seen him at the last little bit BMX race that we had. It was one down in Rio. Michele Van Gorkum. You're silver medalist in Rio. Congratulations. Tell us what it's like to walk away from such a big event with such a big accomplishment.
Thanks, Pete, firsthand. But you know, it just feels like a normal Supercross race. But then when you cross the line, everything is completely different. It turned my world a little bit upside down, but finally got a little bit back into things. And you know, I was hoping for a little bit going back to my old routine, because the 2 weeks after the Olympics were really crazy. A lot of media attention, a lot of parties here and there, and talking with some good sponsors. So hopefully that'll bring me something. But yeah, like I said, I'm really excited to be here and looking forward to race at this awesome facility.
So 2 stops in the U.S. back to back. I know you came with some of the younger guys, so does that make you feel any older? And I actually did see Boss, so I thought you were actually going to be in charge of everybody. So I'm glad that you can focus on racing. But what's it like to travel with a guy? You were telling me his first time in America, his first time doing some World Cups. Tell us what that experience is like for you now to see it through the eyes of somebody else.
Well, it's on first hand, it's really exciting to see young guys from my country coming up. And I mean, they're paying their own trip towards this World Cup and towards the next World Cup in Sarasota. And I think that's really a big deal for these guys. And I'm trying to help them where I can. And you know, like we just talked about earlier today, it's funny to see this guy. I mean, it's his first time here in the U.S. and he's taking pictures of everything. And then on every exit on the highway, there's like a McDonald's sign. He's like, "Oh, holy shit! There's not a McDonald's here." That's fun. But like you said, I'm not the oldest guy, luckily, so I can focus on my racing, and that's what I'm here for. You know, at the end, you want to win the race that you started. So same for me this year.
So let's talk about the racing here in Rock Hill. It's a pretty fast track, not the most technical out there. So how do you, come to a track like this after maybe racing on one of the most technical tracks that there has seen in BMX?
Well, I mean, we have been here a couple times, and you know, throughout my career, I've been facing a lot of these tracks. So I'm kind of used to that, but you know, it always asks a little bit of adaptation every race, and same for this one. After Rio, I took 2 weeks off, and then slowly started getting back into things. Started at Papendal. That track is pretty technical, but the speed is also really high, and that's the same on this track. I mean, there's a lot of high-speed racing involved and a lot of actions going into the turns, and I like that. So I really feel confident on this track, and you know. Everybody out here is just having fun, and you can see it in practice today. There's a lot of less pressure than on the normal regular Supercross races, and I like it. So it's good to hang with everybody and just to have fun.
And for the people who may not understand how important or how big of an accomplishment it was, talk about like all these years you've been racing the Supercross circuit, and to come away from the Olympics, you didn't win gold, but you got as close as possibly can. But how much effort you put into it, all the time on the track, all the travel, to walk away with such a big accomplishment. Just talk about how impressive it makes you feel. I mean, I know you're not a guy as well. You're not going to go out there and talk about yourself, but for us, it's hard to imagine how impressive and how excited you are to win that.
Well, yeah, in my country, we got like 19 Olympic medals. So it's, I mean, I think everybody understands that if you are one of those 19 guys in your country, it's somehow a big deal. And that's how it felt when we got back home. You know, I met the king and the queen from my country, and that's not something you do every day. So that was a big deal for me, and that was really exciting. And then, you know, sometimes you just don't realize it yet, and then you look back at it, or sometimes I'm sitting in the car driving back from a training session towards home, and then I hear this song on the radio, and that was the song that was in my playlist, like leading up to that main event I was listening to, and then I just get goosebumps in the car out of nothing, you know, and that's what is so special about the Olympics.
And I'm sure for you it was a great result because, young Nick Kim, and he's made a big stamp. You've been one of those guys always up there in the results. So to be able to show your dominance, a little bit older of an age, but to show dominance, get such an impressive result. It was definitely exciting to watch.
It was. And then I had like a little bit of bad experience in London, so I was kind of, pretty frustrated about that. And then the Olympics is every once in a 4 year, so it's not always 100% that you get another shot for, to be able to compete at the Olympics. And I had that shot, and you know, I took advantage of it and I got the most out of it, and it turned out silver for me, which I'm really stoked with. So.
All right, so the last 2 races of the World Cup, what's your goals these next 2 weekends?
Well, I'm not able to do good in the Supercross ranking, so I'm here just for the day victory, try to you know, do as good as possible, and try to get into that main event. And like at the Olympics, you know, in the main event everything can happen. You know, you can still like cruising into full place, going into that final, you can still win it. You know, so everything is possible, and especially on this track, it's really raceable, and I think the action is going to be really tight, which is fun. So we'll see what happens. I'm aiming for two main events, one here in Rockhill and the other one in Sarasota. But you know, at the end, my year is already, I wouldn't say perfect, but my year is already really, I'm already really satisfied with that. So we'll see what happens. I'm just here for fun and going for that top 8, and we'll see what happens.
So we know we have a lot of Dutch fans, and now we have even more thanks to yourself. So give a shout out to your fans, and I know they're all mostly asleep, but you know, in Dutch, so they can be excited for you.
Oké, deze is in Nederlands. Ik weet dat ik na de Spelen heel veel berichtjes heb gehad en niet alles heb kunnen beantwoorden. Ik heb wel alles gelezen en mij dank daarvoor. We zijn hier niet met een hele grote groep Nederlanders, maar wel gewoon met een hele goede groep. En ik denk dat het gewoon heel gaaf is om hier in Rockhill te rijden, waar volgend jaar het WK is. Dus dat is wel een mooi test-event voor ons. En we gaan gewoon veel plezier maken en ons ons best doen, en dan zien we vanzelf wat de resultaten zijn. Maar ik hoop dat jullie kijken en dat jullie gewoon een hele mooie wedstrijd gaan zien. Dankjewel.
Yes, and what he said, exactly. So thank you so much. Thanks, and good luck this weekend.
Thanks, man. See ya.
All right, so Jelle van Gorkum, number 37, as we said, silver medalist in Rio. Definitely a great rider out there. He's been one of the guys to be on the tour for the last few years, all over the place. And just exciting to see someone like that come away from those Olympic Games. As you saw, it was a crazy main event. It looked like he was in 4th or 5th, you know, coming down that 3rd straightaway, and then just made some moves, made a dive bomb turn, last turn, made the opening, and then was able to make some good moves down that last straightaway and get himself the silver medal behind Connor Fields. So exciting action. So we talk about Olympics, we like to talk about local riders, grassroots riders, but guys that have kind of done it all. And someone who has done it all, seen it all, raced since he was just a little puppy, and now you see him, he's like 7 foot tall. Justin Posey. Justin, we're coming to your neck of the woods here, down in the deep south. I know you love it here.
Yeah.
And I know, first we'll get to, you have a special tribute, which is really nice for one of your really good friends, Sam Willoughby. So let's just talk about your motivation this weekend with the Strength for 91.
Yeah, he's going to be with me on every lap. You know, he's such an incredible person, man. He's the strongest, driven, most well-rounded dude I've ever met in my life. Just hanging around him for the last few years, it's been incredible to see the things he does to the sport. And, you know, if I can do a few good laps and hopefully represent him well, then I'll be stoked. But I know everybody out here is really riding for him. So I was able to ride this for a little bit in practice. They kind of got mad at me a little bit, but you know, every ride is for Sam this weekend.
So yourself, you know, you came back from a violent crash, a big injury, and like you said, you know Sam well, you know his determination. So, you know, just talk about what it's been like for you to help him in any of the little ways in these last few weeks when, you know, you've been able to talk with him.
Yeah, you know, at first I kind of tried to stay away. Obviously his family and his fiance needed to take care of the big things right up front. But I was able to reach out to him and talk to him a little bit. But yeah, I mean, just going through, not even close to what he's going through, but at the time it was pretty gnarly for me and everybody else what I went through. And that was tough in itself. So to just kind of get a little idea of what he's going through is unbelievable. But again, he's the most driven dude I've ever met in my entire life. And you know, the people that are around him know that he's already visualizing everything he needs to do for his rehab. And there's no doubt in my mind he's going to be walking again. And I know he, you know, is going to use every bit of strength and power he can.
Well, we all stand behind you and your efforts, as well as what Elise is doing for everyone for Sam, so it's incredible. So now let's get to the task at hand this weekend. We're racing back on your side of the coast. You know, you lived in California for a while, now you've made it back here to the East Coast. And you have a special connection here with the Rock Hill track. So just talk about the facility itself, how it came along, and then the track.
Yeah, they luckily enough, I kind of got named as track ambassador when they opened, which was a very big honor. So, it's been nice having this an hour and a half from my home. This amazing facility. The people here are unbelievably nice. They've gone above and beyond to make sure that we have the best track in the nation. And, even last year with how much rain there was, the race went on perfectly fine. So it's been incredible to have this in my backyard. I have a deep love and deep passion for the South. Born and raised here. I don't have much of an accent, but my mom and dad do for sure. So, but yeah, it's great to be here, represent the U.S. and, North Carolina, or the Carolinas.
And then this weekend, up until this race, we've seen everyone in their country uniforms. You ride for Dance Comp, our proud sponsor of Dance Comp Live Preview Show. So talk about Dance Comp's involvement with you in BMX as well as like how far you've been riding for them for quite some time.
Yeah, I think I started with them 8 years ago, I believe, and it's been incredible. I mean, the things they do for the sport is unbelievable. They go above and beyond. I mean, last year again when I got that bad accident, they came up with the idea to sell shirts on my behalf to help cover medical costs, and I mean, they gave every bit of it to me, and so again, it's things like that go a long ways. Besides the sponsorships and the for different riders and different companies, but again, it's the true passion for BMX they have, and for me, it's unbelievable. So I'm very grateful to be riding for them, and look forward to another good year next year with them.
And then talking about support, I think you probably have one of the best support units around. And I'm always happy to see the big smile with your mom. Every time I come to a BMX race and you can tell she's there, how nice is that to have your mom travel with you, support you, at the same time sometimes, push you when you need it and also, console you when you need it.
No, absolutely. I mean, when I had that crash, she came out there immediately, but that was like the one race she didn't go to. Her job let her travel, and so she was at, almost every race, and she still does. And so she's just such a big fan of the sport of BMX in general, but obviously of myself. So, it's nice to have her around. She's always got a smile. She's always cracking jokes. And, I mean, half the people in BMX, I think, know her better than they know me. And, half the time they're like, oh, you're Mama P's son. All right. So, yeah, she's awesome, and it's great to have her around.
All right, so we've got Group B, and you never want to be on the track when Group B's out there. So we will let you go. Thanks so much for stopping by, and good luck this weekend.
Yeah, thanks, Pete. Love you, buddy.
All right, so Justin Posey supporting for Sam Willoughby as we all are standing behind. Go to any one of these riders, Justin Posey, Mara Strongberg's Elise post on Instagram, Facebook. You can get a link to go straight to read about Sam's cause and maybe even donate some money for Sam's rehab and his comeback. We can't wait to see Elise and Sam both come back to the BMX track real soon. So we said that was the end of Group A practice. We've made our way into Group B practice. We're winding down here with our Dance Comp Live Preview Show. Tomorrow, we will be giving you those all the races going on throughout the day, and then we'll have a small break. Then we move into the Super Final Time Trials. Then on Saturday night, we go into racing head-to-head qualifications, and that's when riders will try to make their way into those main events. So we will see how that pans out, and it'll be interesting to see. Well, we're going to stretch out the show here just a little bit. We have one more special guest that we'll be able to get to. And we'll make sure we keep him off the track because Group B is crazy out there. But Carlos Ramirez, your bronze medalist from the Olympics. Carlos, exciting to see you here. Exciting to see the Olympics. Just talk about what it was like that day for you.
It was an amazing day and an amazing experience. It was just having fun on that track, enjoying myself. I knew what I could do. I knew I could come from behind as I did. It wasn't my best gate ever, but it just worked out until the end and made it happen. It's been crazy since. It's just an amazing experience, and to just keep it going and keep having fun in this track and racing.
So when we were in Colombia for the Worlds, we saw how crazy it was and how exciting the people were there. And then we interviewed Carlos a little earlier. We talked about it. In the photos from the podium at the Olympics, it almost looked like the race was in Colombia with all the yellow shirts in the background. How incredible of a feeling was it for you? After the race, it all sunk in. You had that little bit of a tie for a few moments, but when it sunk in that you were the bronze medalist at those Olympics and you got to hear the fans cheer for you, tell us what it felt like.
It felt like in Colombia. Like you could see the tribune just full of people, full of guys of Colombia wearing a yellow jersey. It felt like home, actually. Like, you can see the tribune, it was just yellow. You can see some guys from the States, some guys from Poland and stuff like that, but like the most part of it was yellow from Colombia, and like celebrating with them, like after I knew I had the bronze medal, was just crazy. You could hear the crowd going wild, you could hear them screaming Colombia, Ramirez. So it was just unbelievable. Like, there's no like describing how that sensation was. So it's just crazy to be able to feel that love from all the Colombians, and it's been like that since.
Well, that's good, because now we're here in Rock Hill, and you have a chance to win, contend with Corbin Sherratt for this overall title. So what is that like, coming off a high of that great result at the Olympics, but now we're back 2 World Cups where you have a chance to win an overall title this season?
It's crazy to come and like actually know you can do it, like actually be able to like fight for the title. It's my first time doing it, so I'm happy to be where I am. I'm happy to be able to like do this. So it's just like get on the track, do my best. Hopefully everything will add up and it'll work for me. So just having fun, keep it simple, and just keep going.
So Colombia obviously is a hotbed for riders with yourself, Mariana Pajon, the other Carlos from down there. But the fans are ridiculous. So we're going to let you tell your fans in Spanish, Colombian, I like to say Mexican, and then everybody gets on my case, but give them a shout out and, you know, let them know what's going on this weekend.
Bueno, muchachos, a todos los colombianos, un saludo muy grande, un saludo muy especial a todos. Gracias por el apoyo que hemos recibido todo este tiempo. Espero que nos estén viendo, disfrutando de esta competencia y que intentamos apoyo. Muchas gracias por estar ahí y disfrutan las competencias, que sé que vienen 2 días de más de competencia muy bacanos y con la ayuda de Dios nos irá muy bien. Así que un saludo muy grande a todos y vamos Colombia.
All right, so Carlos Ramirez going for that title, has the title of Olympic bronze medalist. Good luck this weekend, Carlos.
Thank you very much, Pete, and hopefully we'll enjoy racing and we'll have fun on it.
Good luck, Ben. Thank you. All right, so we were going to wrap things up, but the heavy hitters, you know, they're fashionably late. Next up, one of the most successful team managers, coaches, whatever his title is this week, Jamie Staff from the US of A via GB. Jamie, great race in Rio. What's it like to come off such an impressive race? After a year, the race before, you kind of started a new job with no medals, and you kind of came up with 2 really good ones. So what's it like from that whole process, from your perspective, to see success?
I mean, first of all, it's just a relief, I guess you would say. You know, took over the program after London where they didn't get any medals. You know, the pressure's on. We need medals. I mean, my boss was simple as that. He's like, we need medals. You know, so pressure's on, but you know, you can't let that drive you. That's not what I'm thinking about on the day-to-day. Obviously, it's nice if it pans out, but you know, it was a 4-year-long process, obviously, and just working really hard with the athletes, and you know, they performed as they needed to on cue in Rio, and so I'm so proud of them. But yeah, a lot of work and frustration and excitement and joy, highs and lows. I mean, it was a joyride all the way there. It wasn't smooth sailing. We didn't get better every year. It was up and down. So, but it all worked out in the end.
So Olympic gold, Olympic silver, 2 4th places. I know those ones are hard, but impressive results. And a medalist yourself from the Olympics, you can see what how much hard effort, how much work goes into it. And as you said, you were able to guide those riders on that way. So now we have these last 2 World Cups here in the U.S. Some of the riders decided to, take a little bit of a break, while we have others like Corbin Sherratt and Brooke Crane both battling for the title. So how can you're here to support those riders and their efforts. Just talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here to be honest. I've had a little bit of time off, and I'm just trying to blow off the cobwebs and get motivated again. It's been nice to have that kind of downtime. But yeah, they've got to come here and switch it on again. And you know, it is hard. Every athlete's different. Some athletes can't wait to get back on the bike. Others are kind of like, I'm done and I don't want to race the rest of the year. But like you said, we've got a couple of titles on the line. So, you know, I know Corbin's still hungry. Obviously, he was a bit disappointed from Rio. He could have easily have podiumed, like a lot of other athletes, but he didn't. So I know he's hungry and he's definitely after that title. I hope he gets that. Nick seems to have rebounded. Such a gut shot, really. I mean, punched in the gut. You know, thinks he was winning the race, then thought he was on the podium, and then 4th place. So I felt so bad for Nick. You know, my heart goes out to him, and I've been trying to check in and make sure he's okay. But he's here, he's happy, he's having a good time, and he looks good in training. So I don't know exactly where he stands in this, whether he's got a chance at the title or not, I'm not sure. But you know, he's ranked UCI #1, so he's had a great season. The last 2 years have been really good for Nick, and then Brooke, obviously, Elise is busy with Sam, getting him back on his feet. We hope he gets well very soon. But yeah, Brooke's here. She's in a good mood. I think she's had a good little bit of time off. And this is their day job, right? You know, like even I've had time off, but I'm like, okay, all right, I want to get back to work. So, you know, this is what we love doing, and so everyone here is back doing their job and doing what they love this weekend in beautiful Rock Hill.
All right, well, you heard it from the boss. Guy with lots of medals now. So thanks, Jamie, so much for stopping by, and we'll see you soon. So that's going to wrap it up here from Rock Hill, from our Dance Comp preview show. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Pete Deluski. As we said, tomorrow we'll have that racing action for you, and we'll be moving on our way till Saturday night's main events. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
Riders ready, watch the game.